So, I now have two readings. One is from Roger Scruton and one is from someone else. I'm going to read both, and then you're going to tell me who wrote what and who wrote the second one.
Okay.
Once the young people have been jerked into motion in this way, a vestigial desire for partnership is naturally aroused since the music suggests sexual emotions and sexual union. Hence, they will tend to pair off so as to pulsate face to face, not usually looking at each other and certainly not speaking, but acutely aware, nevertheless, of each other's bodies as things replete with movement and governed by the machine. Their bodies become sexual objects, void of personality, since personality is a relational idea, and no relation exists in the dance floor except that between bodies. Hence, when this kind of dancing happens, it is very disturbing to see children or old people joining in. Before we guess, I'm going to read the second one.
Okay.
The dance floor was lit with red and yellow and blue lights and a few white lamps, and they danced to the tunes of the gramophone, and the dance floor was replete with tapping feet, enticing legs, arms wrapped around waist, lips pressed to lips, chest pressed to chest. The atmosphere was full of desire. When the minister descended from his office, he looked intently around the place and at the people, and encouraged those men and women still sitting who had not yet participated in this circus to rise and take part. And as he noticed that the white lamp spoiled the romantic, dreamy atmosphere, he set about with that typical American elegance and levity, dimming them all one by one, all the while being careful not to interfere with the dance or bump into any couples dancing on the dance floor. So, I would like you to guess for me, first of all, who wrote each of those two passages?
Syed Qutb.
Correct! The first passage was Roger Scruton. The second passage was Syed Qutb.
I was so proud when I found out.
I knew both of them.
That's incredible. Syed Qutb and Roger Scruton have, like, the identical criticisms of dancing.
Yeah, but Syed Qutb was more normal.
Like, Syed Qutb was just like a horny leg guy.
Yeah, he doesn't like try to apply any philosophy to it, which already puts him higher in my books.
Yeah.
So what do I win?
Fuck me.
Damn, that's incredible.
Come on.
You win this. You win this Syed Qutb signed copy of the Quran.
you win a Syed Qutb koozie to keep your cold drinks cold and your hot drinks hot. Here
I'm
from
just
Trash
chilling
Future
in Sharm el Sheikh.
I'm so excited. So it's my P.O. box.
Okay.
I also just love the idea that Syed Qutb was scandalized by seeing, college students dancing at the University of Colorado in the 1950s.
In Greeley, Colorado, a town that entirely smells of pig. Also, the funniest historical detail of this, Nathan, you probably know this, but does anyone know the song they were dancing to that he's referencing?
I know this. I think you. Okay, you don't know this?
No, I don't.
It was "Baby, It's Cold Outside."
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey,
I'm
is
envisioning it right now.
So Roger Scruton equals Syed Qutb. It's been proven here on Trash Future First. So he was also a shill. He wrote numerous articles in defense of smoking throughout the 1990s, being paid £4,500 a month by Japan Tobacco International.
Damn, that's a good grift.
The only reason this was found out is that he demanded a £1,000 pay rise in order, saying that he was still good value compared to an actual PR firm. And what he would do is he would write 2 articles a month in reputable outlets or get other people to do it about why things like McDonald's is worse than smoking and you shouldn't ban smoking, you should ban McDonald's. He then wrote a letter to The Guardian saying, quote, because there was a scandal about this and he lost tons and tons of teaching positions and sinecures and all the grifty no-work jobs that he's had throughout his life, he lost them. So he then said, went public and said, the real scandal is that the email should never have been stolen and used as part of your Shut Up Scruton campaign. Oh yeah? Well, then I shouldn't trust you because you were looking at my phone.
I wonder how many other things we're going to find out were just bought and paid for from various opinion columns. I'm looking forward to all of the things about the trans debate. It turns out that somebody was just getting 4,500 quid a month from somebody else. That's going to be wild.
That somebody else is the Heritage Foundation, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I absolutely believe it. I mean, I think about this sometimes, the weird, uncanny, partnership that exists between nightmare American evangelical Christian organizations and liberal feminist writers in the United Kingdom for some reason.
It's
a
wild.
strange handshake, isn't it?
In a way, it makes Metallica and Roger Scruton not seem that much of an odd couple.
Or Syed Khatib and Roger Scruton. So, anyway, after this fiasco, he then moved to an old Southern plantation house in America, James Madison's old house.
Cool.
So, he's just the guy that, praises Enoch Powell and owns Enoch Powell's old coat and lives in a slave plantation.
Syed Khatib welcoming Roger Scruton to heaven.
Don't worry. Wait. Hey, it's fine to dance up here.
Like on that note, when it comes to that, did anyone else remember when there was a lot of issues about having weddings take place over at plantations?
Yeah.
How about just living at a plantation?
That's so fucked. I mean, he must have been doing so much maid shit to like ward off ghosts and stuff.
I mean, just think of this. He would wake up in the morning, put on Enoch Powell's hunting jacket, blast Wagner, and walk around James Madison's slave house.
Wearing 6 Freemason aprons at the same time.
And one of his last acts of sort of like public outrage was defending Viktor Orban. It's just, you have to have the memory of a goldfish to look at this stuff and be like, wow, what a weird coincidence. This just keeps happening.
He was doing the Adomian Chapo Gorka thing of just doing weird ceremonies with swords and blood for the Vitesse Rend.
So he also had a lot of secret "am I being detained" energy that connected to the way he reacted to the scandal about him being a shill for tobacco companies. Because his whole reaction was exactly the "am I being detained" guy, which is this is not a legal kill in Indian soil. You are not allowed. There's fringes on the flag. You can't see my phone. The real scandal is that I got caught.
He was a libertarian, right? That was his
So this is another obituary about him by Christina Hoff Sommers.
I love her.
Yeah,
she's incredible.
The Quillette's favorite feminist. And so here it goes. So this is when they were driving around America, presumably from one of their plantations to another plantation.
The most cursed field trip since Michael Ian Black and
Meghan
McCain, yes.
We were pulled over for the victimless crime of my expired license plate.
Which said merely kill cops.
So the officer asked for his driver's license. Roger reached deep into his book bag
and called him a chomo several times within the space of a minute.
Roger, fed smoker.
Roger, I hate this. I hate we've made this.
I'm afraid that's the episode title, Alice. I'm sorry.
I hate you so much. You're not my real dad.
He extracted a huge faded manuscript and carefully unfolded it on the dashboard for the officer to review.
Just reading him the Quran.
It looked like the Magna Carta. The officer was stunned. Sir, this is not a recognized license in the District of Columbia. Oh no, Roger politely replied, and then everyone clapped. And then God strike me down.
That's the thing. She tells this story, and either it happened, and in this case, what?
Yeah.
Or she's just making this all up.
Oh no, Roger politely replied. My village council assured me this was valid throughout the world.
There has been no time in English legal history when village councils issued driver's licenses, so this is just didn't happen.
He can ride his horse and carriage wherever he wants.
Yeah. Also, the Magna Carta just set out the rights of certain barons against one particular king.
Yeah, Simon de
Montfort
could drive his Lincoln Town Car wherever the fuck he wanted.
So just so I understand this correctly, I thought she was comparing it to the Magna Carta. It was actually the Magna Carta.
Yes.
No, can you read it again? I'm pretty sure she compares it.
No, it looks like the Magna Carta, but if it's a big parchment, I think she's heavily implying that it's a copy of the Magna Carta.
It's ambiguous. It could mean that it's just like a big old document.
Yeah, we need to get into the exegesis of this passage. It's really important. We need to figure out whether or not it's actually the Magna Carta.
Fucking sovereign citizen Rashomon over here.
I think if anyone is... If anyone is likely to carry, or is anyone likely
I
to
don't know. Are
tell
you
a
being
story?
Detained?
If anyone is likely to tell us big story about carrying the Magna Carta around because it's all about freedom and whatever, this fits with the character he wants to. Because the thing is, it never happened, obviously, so it never was or wasn't the Magna Carta. she's just allowing you to heavily imply that this non-existent document that he wasn't carrying around when he wasn't stopped by a cop was the Magna Carta.
Or that he can do Ben Kenobi mind control powers on the DC police somehow.
Turns a Chinese menu into the Magna Carta.
By charming them with his Britishness.
Yeah, I love that the implication of this is that he is worth eulogizing. This is worth including in an encomium towards him, that he was able to outwit a DC cop.